I told you guys so. First, I want to apologize for not being able to stream because my PC shit the bed. I had to go live on TikTok. I know people are like, Kenny, I wish I seen Kenny's reaction. Don't worry, I'm going to add a clip of my reaction in here.
Oh, dark stroke. Dark stroke is in. It's in. Come on, Merab doesn't know what he's doing. Oh my God, Merab does not know how to do a... Merab's so bad, chat.
Oh, that's tight.
Oh, is it in?
That's real tight.
He's going to tap. He's going to tap. Yes! 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 Merab by submission!
But I told you guys so. I told you guys that Merab's gonna win and he's gonna use submission. He's gonna use his chokes and he's gonna win. He won by submission. Well, I even seen him threaten a guillotine attempt. He was throwing a lot of chokes and face cranks on Sugar when Sugar was tired. He wasn't doing it at his best. A little few tweaks, those are finishes as well. When I say Merab Dvalishvili can finish Sugar Sean O Malley, I'm not joking. So you could call me a goofball now. You could call me a silly guy now. But when it happens, you'll be like, oh shit, Mr. Kenny strikes again. I remember before that, this guy's an idiot, dude. He thinks he's going to finish him. How can someone think Merab's going to finish him? I'm different from these other YouTubers when it comes to predicting. You guys got to realize I'm not the same average YouTuber who just says, I'm going to pick Sugar now because it's hip surgery. You idiots must feel like imbeciles. How dumb do you guys actually feel? Sugar's going to win because his hips are better. If I could elbow you through the screen, I'd do it. Because how dumb do you have to be to make a prediction that flawless? Let me calm down. I don't want to try to ego max right now, but... when I have these I told you so moments, I'm going to take advantage of it because I know when I fumble or have a prediction bad, you guys are going to take advantage of that, right? So how about this? Shut your mouth, Mr. Kenny back in the building. We ain't never left, to be fair. We've been her. We've been her. You know, come back to this video when Merab wins. I said Merab's going to win by submission. Not possible. This went exactly how I thought. Sugar's nowhere near the skill of Merab Dvalishvili. I can't believe anyone thought Sugar had a puncher's chance. Sugar had more aura this time around. That's it. He looked a little bit more serious. The looks don't win fights, dude. Dude, I'm mad, man. Dude, this time I'm mad. I'm angry now. Bro, shut up, bro. You ain't built like that. You ain't never hustled with the stars. I had to tussle with the law. You never shook your homie hand after they punched you in the jaw. Sugar, you nothing but a fraud. I hate to be that guy, but this went how I said. I remember in my prediction video, I was talking about, guys, since the Merab versus Sugar, we've seen Merab elevate and improve against Umar Nurmagomedov. And we've seen Sugar elevate and improve against his hip because of hip surgery. You know, I'm sure people are going to make the excuse like I predicted in my video that, well, Kenny, I don't think the hips were fully recovered. Don't make any excuse you want. This fight was obvious. It's like a really obvious pick. And I know it's one of those fights for like the casuals was way more obvious in hindsight. Now I bet you guys are like, oh shit, not going to lie, Kenny. I don't even know how I ever picked Sugar. I don't know either. Just an idiotic pick, in my opinion. You know, all these YouTubers, Guru, Lucas, whoever else picked them, you guys know nothing. Stop acting like you know anything. You don't know crap. You know, horrible prediction. Anyone who picked Sugar, like I said, they just wanted an aha moment. They saw the JDM fight. They're like, wait, since Bilal wasn't wrestling heavy, I don't think Merab's going to wrestle. They're not the same people. It's not the same fight. Stop trying to like have your aha moment. Told you so again. That's not how, it's just not roses and bubbles all the time. Y'all can't, you know, have your cake and eat it too. I hate when people think they could compare other fights and all. Listen, different fights, different fighters. Merab, I knew was never going to get scared of the takedown defense. I did say how I think Sugar's going to improve his takedown defense, and I do think his takedown defense did improve, but Merab was just better. I said, listen, he's going to stuff more takedowns, but he's going to get taken down more. There's going to be more attempts, and those more and more attempts ended up Merab picking him up on the shoulder, slamming him, ultimately getting the choke on him. The choke that I said was going to happen, but everyone's saying I'm a delusional, I have no hairline. That choke, you feel me? So, listen, man, no surprise. Like, I'll be lying if I said I'm surprised. I'd be lying if I said, like, oh, I'm surprised he choked him. Like, anything. Oh, Merab got to finish. These don't surprise me, especially because I said in the first fight he was threatening with these chokes so frequently. You know, in this time around, I just don't think Sugar's going to be defending it, especially when he was getting smothered. Merab was very active on the ground with his ground and pound. He was fighting very well. He wasn't playing around. I thought Merab was like a little bit trolling when he's like, I'm not going to troll anymore. He didn't troll. Like, there's situations where he usually be emoting, like doing this crap. Yeah, I mean, I'm a Rob, dude, and cowbunga. He wasn't doing none of that. He was like using volume. He was using smothering, so heavy on the top. Dude, when I talked about the physicality difference, people thought I was exaggerating. I was like, dude, physically, Merab is just so much more imposing. He's so much more of a marauder that you guys don't understand. When Merab gets a hold of Sugar or is on top of Sugar, he's too heavy for Sugar to get off his back. Sugar was like stuck in full guard against this guy. He like had nothing to do. He was so useless. Like once you're 5'11", he's like 5'5" in the same weight class. Once he's on top of you, height is out the picture. Now it's just physicality and weight and density. Merab just is a fucking bowling ball. You're fucking not a bowling ball. You're a twig. Let's be real. Respect as a one twig to another. We're both twigs. Once these bigger guys get on top of you, you're not going anywhere. So once I seen Merab like score, I'm like, dude, this is the easiest prediction of all time. I know people's like, don't milk the comeback to this video. It's the easy prediction, but I want the same Sugar fans who said I'm an idiot for picking Merab. And Sugar has a new hip, so his hip surgery is gonna make him change his skill and fight better. Wait, Kenny, this time Sugar's not smoking weed and not beating his meat, so he's gonna okay. You guys have this. I hope people know how dumb their reasoning sounds now, because some of the reasonings I see, I usually scratch my head like that, but it got me doing this shit. I'm like, bro, what are you on about? Yeah, dude, this time around he's not fucking smoking weed and beating his meat. Okay, is he gonna win the fight? No. Listen, shame on any creator who actually picked Sugar just based on vibes, because they had no legitimate reason to actually pick Sugar based on the fact that he did nothing since his last fight, showed no improvement. The only improvement he showed is that he had to go through hip surgery. And I know you guys are going to switch up and say the hip surgery, he should have fought someone else beforehand. He shouldn't have just went back to the title fight. But now you're going to, I understand the switch up, and I understand that's what you're supposed to do. But, I'm glad I got this prediction right. And I don't think any other creator predicted Merab by submission. So I'll take that crown on the head for a Mystic Kenny prediction. Submission or points. I was saying it the whole week, and it happened. Submission. I knew it. The way he was threatening the guillotine in the first fight, I was like, dude, a couple more tweaks, Merab can get it. Merab actually had a horrible darts attempt initially, but he stuck with it, and then Sugar panic tapped. He stuck with it. The squeeze was, of course, overwhelming, because what made it worse is that Sugar was also already getting smothered, and then the choke started coming, so he was already he's claustrophobic, couldn't breathe. Then he tapped out. I seen when Sugar made this choice, he's like, oh, should I tap? Fuck it, I'm gonna tap. He knew he couldn't last with Merab. So Merab, being a workhorse as usual, beats on him, Dr. Dre, hands on him, lots of base. And where does Sugar go from here? I don't know. Like I said, it just wasn't a fair fight. Whoever booked this fight needs to get arrested. I don't know what human being would ever think this guy has fighting chance, brother. Maybe stupid human being. This is what I think. But Merab's so much better than this fraud, and he beats the hell out of Sugar. Sugar's not even bad. Maybe go fight someone else. What I'm saying? This shows the levels of the division. Umar and Merab up here, competitive fights. I thought Umar won, but competitive fights. And then these two, brother, don't put them in the same fight ever again. The first fight wasn't close in hindsight. I already said the first fight was never close, but people don't want to believe me. It was the same thing as the first fight, except Merab wasn't dilly-dallying and trolling and showboating, so he got the finish. Merab could be a finisher if he stops being a weird, like a goofball. But yeah, see the Georgian flag. We had it for a reason. Beats on him, Dr. Dre, Merab with the win. And speaking of fights I get flawlessly right, Kayla Harrison, I was very adamant she's going to win by finish. I said submission because I just feel like she's so much better than Juliana Pena. Pena did her job with, talking crap before the fight, but I just knew when push came to shove, Kayla Harrison was going to be so significantly better, especially in the grappling, and that's kind of what I saw from there. Kayla Harrison just significantly better, beats on Juliana Pena, looked very comfortable, looked like a very easy fight for her. Juliana Pena kind of had nothing for her at all. It was a very one-sided fight. I'm excited to see Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes. I was actually really hyped watching their face-off and everything. WMMA is reviving, it's back. Now we actually have a legitimately skilled champion in Kayla Harrison. And like I said, this wasn't competitive. And I'm not surprised, that's kind of what I said in the week lead up, that Juliana Pena just didn't look good in her Pennington fight to a point where I even consider her winning. So I know people dude, no, the longer the fight goes, Juliana Pena's gonna marauder max. I was like, dude, it's not gonna go very long. And even if it does, I don't even see Kayla Harrison gassing the way people think she would have. But yeah, it was a whole different world once you got Pena on the ground. Pena's a good grappler, by the way. Kayla Harrison's just different level, Olympic medalist. Olympic medalist, I think 2-time Olympic medalist, PFL champ or whatever, UFC champ. One of the greatest combat sports athletes of all time. See, Cejudo got a medal and a UFC champion. He was one of the greatest, right? She did the same thing in different promotions and did it kind of better. So, yeah, dale, brother. Kayla Harrison, she's really that woman. I think she beats Amanda Nunes. I'm going to be real with you guys. I don't see Amanda Nunes giving much to Kayla Harrison, especially because he's been out for a little bit. She's going to have to come back, and Kayla's been just running through everyone, showing good performances. I just don't see Kayla Harrison as someone who's going to beat her. Yeah. The fact that Juliana Pena landed 0 significant strikes is very sad for her. Kayla Harrison with a great submission. Submissions in the co-main and main. Who would have thought? Me, because I predicted that. All right, moving on. Gastelum versus Pyfer went exactly how I said it probably would go. I said Pyfer by KO or points. Pyfer didn't get the KO. He won by points. I did think Kelvin Gastelum had a strong head. I'll be real, Pyfer is good, guys, but he's too low volume to beat anything significant of a threat. He could be really good guy a little bit, but his lack of volume is just concerning. Like, he kind of throws to kill every time, which is not a bad thing. It works against like these lower ranked middleweights or like these unranked middleweights. But when he gets to the top, he's gonna have to use way more volume, or he's gonna get the beats on him like Dr. Dre. That's my opinion on this guy. He's not bad. He's just not the greatest, and something about him is not likable. I don't dislike him, but something about him, I don't know what. I can't put my finger on it. I don't really like. I'm not chomping at the bit to like be like, yeah, man, Joe Pyfer, dude, fucking cowbunga. I just don't care too much about him, something about him. But yeah, Joe Pyfer, like I said, decent win, I guess. Needs more killer instinct and needs more volume for sure. Bautista versus Patchy Mix, guys. You guys saw how it's like. If you guys look at my prediction video, I think I went back and forth on them like 6 times before I like made my official pick. Ended up giving the advantage to Patchy Mix. Chat, let me say something. UFC is so much better than every promotion. It's almost disgusting. Like, it's almost like, eesh. Like, it makes me want to vomit how disgusting the UFC is compared to these other promotions. We've seen it so many times. Ascura, Pantoja, man. Like, Yair Rodriguez, Pitbull. You know, Patchy Mix, Bautista. These guys come to the UFC, not even against like the champions. Mario Bautista not a champion. Yair Rodriguez is not a champion. He goes again, and I'll be real. Mario Bautista didn't look like a world beater. He didn't look like he's unstoppable. He just looked like an average Mario Bautista. But he puts it on Patchy Mix. That's a champion in a different promotion. The UFC is so much better than these other promotions. It's almost like I said, it's disgusting. It's unfair. You know, like, honestly, Kayla Harrison being a woman, I guess that might be a factor into it, why she could come over and transition so well. But she also has the athletes to support it. Patchy Mix was like so stiff and slow and would throw the same left hook every time. You know, I think it was 2-1 Mario. I think maybe the last round Patchy started waking up, but Patchy didn't even use his grappling at all. Talking about, I'm going to submit this guy. Didn't shoot a single takedown. No hairline. Ugly as hell. I see. Why am I roasting him? I don't know what I'm doing. But he's just so stiff. Stiff as a board. Throws same left hook. He had one left hook. That's only he only threw a left hook. Waits for Bautista to tag him in the face. Throws a left hook. Misses. Dude, this guy, embarrassing performance. It actually wasn't a bad fight, but just a really bad performance from Patchy Mix. And like I said, Mario Bautista, he's good. He's as good. He's as good as expected. You know, he doesn't look anything crazy. He just looks. He looked better than Patchy. Patchy just looked bad to me. I can't lie. These other promotions need to stay your ass in your promotion. This is not, dude. It's not roses and bubbles in the UFC, dude. These guys think they can come over. Yeah, man. I'm champion in this. Shut your mouth, dude. You're nothing. You know, worst performance on the card for Patchy Mix. He just looked really bad. He did not look like a world champion to me, but apparently he's a world champion in a different promotion. Stop it, brother. You're not built like this. You know, UFC's a real bad man. You guys are real sad, man. All right. This fight shocked me, man. This fight shocked me. I did end up going Vicente Luque. You guys know this. And it was an underdog pick, but I was like, I could see the sleeper. I could see Luque by sub or points. Kevin Holland with the fucking sub, the Darce. Dude, that was very impressive. Kevin Holland, great scrambling. Kevin Holland, he's starting to come back to like the 2020 Holland era. He's starting to get some wins, you know. Honestly, looking at his losses, he only loses like really good guys. His last loss was RDR, which kind of aged good. At first, we were kind of like, how did he lose to that goofy boy? But it's kind of aging well. Holland's not bad. He has good potential. In like, it's like he's weird when he shows it. His striking is very sporadic though. His striking is like very mediocre. If you're going to get someone with like good striking, he'll probably lose like to a JDM or anyone like that. But you know, the fact that he submitted Luque, you know, shows how good his BJJ really is. When he submitted Chiesa, I remember I was like, oh, that's pretty good. But Luque, different level, bro. He surprised me. I would say Kevin Holland probably surprised me the most out of everyone on this card. I know he was the favorite to win, chat. But I still was surprised he was able to submit Luque. Like, maybe knock out Luque, catch him, you know, but submit him, brother. He had him hurt on the feet a little bit, too. Luque was landing some good shots on Holland, too, but couldn't capitalize on it the best. Holland was vintage Holland, talking, chirping, and great performance. I can't lie. He had great performance. So, Kevin Holland definitely impressed me. Good guy, brother. Good guy. Joshua Van versus Bruno Silva. Now, if you look at my prediction video, people are trying to come at me for this, guys. I literally said in my prediction video, I'm going to go Bruno Silva because the odds are kind of dumb. In my lives after that, I said, I think Van's going to win. People who watch my lives every day, they know I said Van's going to win. But I still wasn't confident enough to put money on Van just because, like, minus 750. But he showed he was a minus 750, you know. He put the beats on him. I did put something on this fight that the fight goes the distance. And, of course, Van's going to knock him out with 1 minute left in the third round. But great performance by Van. Van's good, you know. Like, Van, I always know he's good, but he's good. I'm not saying Bruno Silva's, like, crazy, but Silva has some power behind him, but he couldn't really find the shot. Van was just moving well. He's so reactive. Joshua Van is so reactive. Like, you throw a punch on you, he reacts so quick and counters. He's really good. He's special, you know. I like this kid a lot. I think he has crazy potential, and I think this guy, you know, a little bit special guy, you know. And, I think you should respect this guy a little bit. Respect him. He's a handsome guy. And all right, I'm doing too much, but nah, Joshua Van, very good hands. His low kicks, he doesn't really do a good job checking low kicks, but he doesn't really need to because he does a good job pressuring you backwards and forcing you not to throw low kicks. And if you throw low kicks, he's gonna try to catch you with straight punches. He's legit future champion in my opinion. Definitely, he's 23 years old. Kid's a youngin, so bro said kid. I'm 22, but you guys get the point. He's a young guy and he has crazy potential. I like Joshua Van a lot. Definitely on the hype train. Asma versus Ribeiro. I told you guys that Asma is probably by KO points. That's what happened. Asma's so good. He reminds you of a mini Ankalaev. He's southpaw, really quick 1-2, just like Ank. Really good movement, bounces back and forth. Sometimes he has something where he takes a little bit to find his timing, especially against taller opponents because he's not the tallest guy in the weight class. But when he finds the timing, his speed is almost so alarming that he always finds the target and he has some crazy power behind it. Asmat's really good, guys. Like, Asmat's one of those special strikers that you have to behold. And he uses his body so well. His grappling, his judo, all that is so well. Because even when he had Ribeiro hurt, he did a good job using his body to shift him under him fully so he could ground upon him to the best of extent. Asma is really good. He's a good grappler and he's just really well-rounded, So when you have a fighter who's really well-rounded like this, with quick hands, like, you need to be special to beat him. I think Asma beats every single light heavyweight not named Magomed Ankalaev. I do. I think him and Magomed are really similar. Just Magomed's of course like 6'3", so that wouldn't be the best for Asma because I feel like Magomed would use those teep kicks against Asma, bother him a little bit, and then the hands would be interesting because both guys would be really quick. But he's like one of those next level light heavyweight boxers, like the Ankalaevs, who like move back and forth really well, good pressure and good 1-2s. He's special and he's definitely someone to look out for. If he's not on your radar, you're doing something wrong because this guy's special. I know Ribeiro's not the best fucking marauder, but he has had some upset wins. But Asma's just on a different level than all these light heavyweights. Jamal Hill loses, Khalil loses, Yuri loses, Pereira loses. They all lose. Well, Pereira will be interesting, but I think he beats Pereira. But point being said, he's special. Keep your eye on Asma. Now this fight, I picked Spivac. And Spivac won. I don't care what this says. Listen, Cortes-Acosta didn't look horrible. But I thought it was 2-1 Spivac. I thought the first round was Spivac, guys. And then I thought the second round was Cortes-Acosta pretty clear. Then I thought the third round was Spivac again. So at the end of the fight, I was celebrating because I was like, oh shit, my parlay's going to hit. I had Spivac winning. And then the parlay just doesn't hit. I'm like, what? They gave it to Cortes-Acosta. Now, I'll say this. The first round was really close. So, there's that. But I'm very surprised, that Spivac didn't get the win. It wasn't even split. It was unanimous. And the judge gave it 30-27 Cortes-Acosta, which is like, I don't know what the judges were on. Maybe, I bet the judges probably had Sugar up 3-0, Thank God Rob got that finished. Point being said, Chad, is Spivac is he's a game opponent. So is Cortes-Acosta, who's pretty good, but he was getting tagged up in my opinion. But close fight, but wrong winner in my opinion. Chaos Williams versus Andreas Gustafsson. This is the worst pick I had the whole card because I thought Chaos Williams was going to knock him out. A lot of people did, but we were all so wrong because fucking Gustafsson put it on him like a fucking marauder. Dude, he has a good fight style for welterweight. These guys are big welterweights, They look like light heavyweights. I don't get how they're making welterweight, especially this fucking Gustafsson guy. He's looking like a tank, dude. And like he has good pressure. He's almost like a fluffy at welterweight, which is good, and he's strong physically. He's going to be a problem. I think Chaos Williams is kind of mid, but it's also that Gustafsson's fight style is very overwhelming and hard to deal with. So, shout out Gustafsson. He has great potential. This guy's a fucking marauder, dude. De Silva versus Wong Tong. That's how you pronounce it, apparently. I had Wong Tong by KO points. Same thing happened. She's good. I'll be real. I love her because, that's my girl. But let's be real. Boxing defense, no bueno, my friend. Boxing defense, no bueno. But she has good low kicks, good stick and move style. She's a beast. She's good for the women's flyweight division just for something new. But probably not championship caliber in my opinion, but she's not bad. She just needs to work on her striking defense. She destroyed De Silva's leg. I thought it was going to be a leg kick KO. Bro, leg kicks were the story of this fucking fight card, by the way. But I thought she was going to get a leg kick TKO. She didn't, but good performance by my girl, Wong Tong. Now, Ju Sang Yu. I thought he killed Jekka. I'm not even trying to be... Dude, if you see my reaction, I thought Jekka was gone. Look at this Indonesian marauder, man. This South Korean, man. This is why, I watch K-dramas because I know they put the beats on these guys like Dr. Dre, hands on them. Lots of bass. Ju Sang Woo with the craziest knockout of the night. Definitely walking home with a bonus regardless. Step back, left hook, boom, slept him. Jekka was just marauder maxing forward like he was going to fucking impose his will and this gets fucking destroyed. It's kind of funny, but... Great performance by Ju Sang Yu. And Jekka, maybe retire a little bit. Maybe consider Jubilee knockout. Jubilee knocked him out. Weston Wilson victim. And then a Ju Sang Yu brutal knockout. I think Ju Sang is actually a really good fighter, though. So it's not like he got knocked out by a bum. All right. Quillen Salkilld and Yanal Ashmouz. Dude, Salkilld, bro. Fucking grappling. next level, brother. This guy's a good grappler. You know, he had good grappling, good movement. His striking was all right. You now started like picking up in the third round, but the grappling of he was kind of bullying, you know. And you would think, being, a Muslim guy would be a good wrestler, but this guy Israeli Muslim, a little bit not the Russian Muslim, or so this guy not on the level of Australian wrestling. Out wrestled by Australian, mauled by Australian, brutally beaten by Australian. Great performance by Salkilld. He's nothing crazy though. I'll be real. He's nothing crazy, but he beat him. And Markel Mederos versus Mark Koniski. This fight was a pretty clear winner in my opinion. I think Markel won. I think it had a 2-1 or 3-0. Either way, Koniski was a marauder. He was tough, but the low kicks of Mederos was piecing him up, and he was just putting him in a very bad spot. Good performance by both, honestly, but Mederos obviously gets an easy win. And yeah, he looked good. Nothing to ooh and ah about, but listen, man, it's finally wrapped up. Mr. Kenny finally made an appearance again, and we predicted Merab, to submit this guy. This guy not on our level, Georgian flag, We're going to probably bring this back for the Ilya Charles fight. I'm not going to probably buy a Spain flag just for that. But yeah, Merab showed levels, man. I hope people stop doubting my boy Merab and understand how good this guy really is. He went in there against Sean O Malley and embarrassed him. So, like him, you like or you don't like, he's best fighter in the world right now. Thank you, But that's it for me. Let me know what you guys thought about this fight card down below, and God bless. 2, 3.